Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Live Poetry Reading. Tonight we have Valerie Lockhart, Miriam Calleja, Megan Willow Rose, and Judith Miller. As usual, I'll start off with a couple of my poems. This first one is called They Will Come for Death. It's strange. It has been years. Life became asymmetrical due to misdeeds done. A hospital call, and then they come to watch the labored breathing, the eyes that do not open. Some try to provide comfort, holding a cold hand, nurses saying they can still hear, the dying can still hear. Then the machines and tubes are disconnected. No more work to be done. The corpse waiting for transport to a morgue or someplace like that. If there is a funeral, others may come. Don't be bummed. This could happen to anyone. And my second poem, A Realization. So many things to recant, why forgiveness was nowhere to be found. Rumors of quicksand swayed all aid. I thought something satisfying was to come from my prayers, but found that life was more difficult than I thought. Someone says, keep faith. How quickly comes an avalanche? Yikes. Our first reader tonight is our own Valerie Lockhart. Valerie is a southern Minnesota-based writer, technical and creative community builder, a passionate champion of liberty and entrepreneurial spirit. She leads statewide initiatives that blend art, technology, and empowerment, including helping founders, businesses, and students of all ages leverage tech and think creatively and freely. Take it away, Valerie.
Thanks, Ron. I told Ron this a little earlier, but this is my first time reading poetry in a very long time. So bear with me. I picked four of a couple are older and a couple are newer. So they're kind of mix of things. So nothing is consistent in my writing. The first one is called A Dance with Snakes. It is a constant dance, this balance between thinking I've got it and falling off the ledge. Steadfast, I keep one foot in front of the other, not looking down, but not really looking up either. All around me, a dizzying swirl of half truths, feelings, and manufactured rage. Snakes slither between my toes and threaten to pull me off track. But I shake and shake and step. They cannot hurt me unless I let them, right? I've the ultimate say in this experience. But these illusions they cast are so lifelike. They even smell like memories of the places that I'm pretty sure I've only imagined. Sliding across the path, doing their best to envelop me, lead me to my demise. But I keep going. Shake and step, shake and step. The next one is called Liberty. We all seek liberty, freedom from all oppression, be it societal, familial, or even self induced. Free to be. And it harm none, do as thou will, much, much deeper than it seems. You manifest destiny, bring about change, throw shackles and walk away. Free to be. Do I agree with you? Not necessarily. Does that really matter? Not in the slightest. This is the beauty of the land. As unforgiving as it may be, it also holds the key to all that you desire. Put work in, get life out, free to be. Those who come here fight and die for it, knowing that it's worth it. They've seen the other side of this coin. The rest of us, so indoctrinated by self-hating masters, don't even realize that we hold ourselves in captivity. Brainwashed to think that this place is nothing special, that this experiment is pointless. that anywhere must be better. To be proud of this place is a sign of stupidity. How dare you think? Well, I think because I listen. I think because I read between the lines. I think because that's how my daddy raised me. I'm free to think, free to question, and free to be. The third one is called Weird Girls, and this is one of the older ones that I have. I wrote quite a long time ago, but it still fits. Love, such a misconception for weird girls. Easy to fall in, impossible to climb out. Footing, never quite sure, and an exact place on the map is a luxury, rarely afforded. You could spend a lifetime reeling in the grips of your hope and never truly leave the exact place where you've been stuck. It takes effort to pull yourself out of the place where the hope keeps you locked down, like ripping the flesh from the soles of your feet. Taking a step burns. It feels like death. But the true death is in the standing still. True death is rolling yourself into hope, nestling yourself into its intoxicating fragrance, praying that this time it will deliver. This time there's magic. This time. And the last one I have is called The Heart Arrives. And this is not autobiographical. This is just just a scene. He stepped onto the platform, cool and calm. All was right, breathing. All would fall in line. Steel doors shut behind him, no turning back, nowhere to run, hide, or a way to rewind. Here and now, a new beginning. Waited so long enough to see the whites of eyes which had only been pixels on a screen. Across the station, she stood alone, long hair falling across shoulders, eyes hidden behind a glimmer of dark glass. And for a moment, only fleeting, he wished that he had stayed in Boston, his heart beating in succinct triple time. As she walked toward him, he heard within his mind a loud tremble. Love, this is. He swallowed hard. She lifted the glass from her sun-kissed face, swept hair behind ear, and in that moment, all became clear. From this place, his heart would never leave. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you, Valerie. Those were nice. You keep writing. Our next poet is Miriam Calleja. Miriam is a poet, artist, translator, writer, and workshop teacher. Her full poetry collections are Pomegranate Heart, EDE Books 2015, and Inside, EDD Books 2016. Her poetry chapbooks are Remember, Stranger Intimacy, and Come Closer, I Don't Mind the Silence. Her first translation from the Maltese is Variations on Silence. Her work has appeared in Cowles, Plum, Humana Obscura, and elsewhere. Miriam is the winner of the Table/Feast 2025 Translation Competition. She's co-editor at Brick Road Poetry Press and the 2025 Prose and Translation co-editor at Table/Feast. She is also the 2025 Artist in Residence for the Mobile Translation. Artist in Residence for the Mobile Medical Museum. Miriam is from Malta and lives in Birmingham, Alabama. Take it away, Miriam.
Hi, Ron. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me to read today. I'll be reading 7 poems, of which some are translations. And I'm going to start by reading a few poems from my chapbook, Come Closer, I Don't Mind the Silence. So some of these poems are based on dreamscapes. The first one is called A Choreography of Almost. At once, you're in a place where you forget that love is a second language, where imitation is not possible, where the fabric of our trajectory is a big holding of your hands. There's a choreography of almost in every breath, almost touching this unstitched hem through years stained like bathtubs, almost whispering the unsayable. I let it sit where I can taste it, push it back with my tongue. An almost dance shakes the foundation of night, the hours a curse blessing, a cure for the mundane. Suddenly, we are almost alive. The second poem is called Layla and Majnun, and it's based on the older and Arab version of Romeo and Juliet. Unable to fulfill their love in this world, Layla and Kais, known as Majnun, are cursed to repeat their love story on stage every night for eternity unresolved. Be gone from me. Love for you so engages me that I have no time for you. Backstage, they are changed characters. Props discarded, they share a plate of reheated lasagna, sit close on a makeshift table. Too tired to talk, they sit and eat in silence. She saves him the best bite. Tangled in the black and white of the world in which they belong, theater does not care for the close-ups of television. It cannot show the vibrations of thigh against thigh between sips of red wine and water. Layla distractedly texts, I'll be late. Post-mortem. X, with the other's little finger brushing a waiting Majnun. Eyes burning with eyeliner and unscripted desire, they start the scene from the top. Tierson's nursery rhyme, the song Your. When I met Tierson, I could trip without breaking. Although God knows I left bones on those stairs and I wish I could bite my tongue. It was a blind way down from wine-stained lips to a clipping of notes. After the day, continuous rumbling into bruised love songs. Those are the sweetest ties. Forte, a slap across the wrist. Forte, a smarting of the face, a tightening on the neck, fortissimo. I digress, eat the waltz, climb back up. Allegro, the to and froing. Allegro, pacing me on a pedestal. Adagio. Da capo. At the beginning, a woman's fingers tremble with a needle, the record player. And the last one I'll read from this collection is called You Know You Can Save Me, and it's based on a dream. In this cacophony where bloodlines blur, the seat hangs thicker than blood. The fragile sea of my veins thin as I walk away. Take this waltz and on the third count, crumble a Madeleine behind my back. Let me feel the crumbs fall. Catch them with the arm that's meant to hold me. My feet know this dance. Inside, I am surprised to learn last decade's betrayal prevails. Everybody watches it on my skin, taking photographs of the fallen sheep. The shelter of your arms is temporary. What a waltz, nonetheless. A music to face the 1, 2, 3. Instructions. Your left foot takes a large step back, opens the door for this man. My last. I'm going to be reading next from my translation of Nadia Mifsud's poetry in Maltese. It's called Variations on Silence. The first poem is a palindrome. It is untitled. I'm about to slip. Hold me. Lurking in your eyes, a taste of deep dark sea. Little else remains besides fragments of a once treasured waltz. a few lines scribbled under a lace-trimmed sky. Scribbled under a lace-trimmed sky, a few lines, fragments of a once treasured waltz. Little else remains besides a taste of deep dark sea lurking in your eyes. Hold me, I'm about to slip. And the second poem I'm going to read from this collection is called +5, and it indicates the days of lockdown. Abracadabresque, the silence spreading like sorrow from one building to the next. An entire town reduced to one tight knot. Today it wasn't the streets that roused hoarse gasping for breath, but us, muttering erratic antidotes against the black crows arrogantly marking territory from rooftops. We cringe when we hear them, snitching on us, their cries tearing apart the taunting blue sky. They spread their wings in warning, and lo and behold, there goes an ambulance groaning. Our repugnance grows. We eavesdrop on the gossip of birds, telephoned from branch to branch, from tree to tree, from rooftop to rooftop. Beautiful blues and greens on the magpie's tail. We envy the deadbeat doves wriggling on the water spout. We lean over the sill, untie our hair, enjoy the feel of it flowing wildly in the wind. We relish the yellow and violet dance of and irises in empty yards. Tomorrow, love, we'll be at the window again. We'll wave at the neighbor across the street, beckon to the wind and the swallows, and maybe, who knows, glimpse a few butterflies from 6 stories up. And the very last poem I want to read is from this collection called Go Back Where You Came From, published by Moonstone Press. The poem is called Mouthful of Sand. How can I, if speaking will untether your image of how I should be? And in choking down sand, how will the sand dollars fare? And will I use them to shipwreck my way backward, paying for silence? And silence, how much will that cost? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Miriam. Those were wonderful. I enjoyed the translations. Our next poet is Judith Miller, who grew up amidst the green in the driftless area of the Midwest. She was born in Winona, Minnesota, which is an island surrounded by wooded bluffs on the north overlooking the Mississippi River, and the wooded bluffs on the south overlooking the lake. As a youngster, she took to the forested hills and climbed the bluffs or packed peanut butter sandwiches and rode her heavy old bike through the valleys of the backcountry. It was and is the woods where she found answers to the whys and worries she experienced day to day. At that time, she may not have understood the full impact of green and its healing powers, but it has played a key role in her writing. Now she is often accompanied by her pup, who gives bounce to her day and thoughts. The dog, along with the birds, animals, and flora of the forest, help her recovery from the angst caused by fellow human beings. These natural wonders help her rediscover the gift of life and its bounty. And this is what she wishes to share with others through her written words. It's her way of expressing gratitude. Judith recently published a book of her poetry titled Emergings Out of the Woods. It is on Amazon or can be found at the Hennepin County Library. Take it away, Judith.
Thank you. John Muir said, "In every walk with nature, one receives more than he or she seeks." That is so true for me because as I walk in the forest, my poetry emerges and I come away with a lot of peace and gratitude. This first poem I wrote this past week, it was a very blustery day, and it's called An Oatmeal Morning. innards warmed by a hot bowl of cereal. Dog and I reluctantly set out on the trail, albeit a bit hesitant to brave the blustery morning chill. Days before, warm temps brought out throngs inhaling these last days of fall. Not so today. Except for deer beds and coyote trails, Auburn prairie grasses stand upright. Oaks lining the edges hold on to copper leaves like a scene from an old sepia photo, while poplars bared of their leaves stand white like skeletons. Crows unabashedly announce our arrival. After the initial inspection, they are gone. A tawny buck strutting his stuff stops abruptly, surveys his intruders, sensing no harm, leaves while a skittish coyote skirts across the path. The lake, reflecting the mood of the skies, harbors a cold slate color. Swans in the distance look like miniature icebergs, while butts-up geese and bill-dipping mallards hug the shoreline. Dog and I draw comfort despite the chilly setting. Fingers taut from cold with nose dripping, the peace and contentment from these scenes are as soothing as a cup of hot chocolate or as hearty as a morning bowl of oatmeal. And now some just simple woodland notes. Stillness penetrates the morning walk through the woods. An intense forest green calls out from every angle, from the moss on the forest floor to the new tree limbs above. I am alone on this walk, save for Dog, who trots merrily ahead, turning and stopping to see why I had stopped. Dog doesn't realize I pause to inhale the verdant aspects, much like she inhales the scents along the path left behind by forest creatures. Our goals are the same, to sniff out the best from the morning outing. Before dawn, near the corner streetlight, just before the turn to the lake, someone started painting the maple in hues of red, orange, and yellow. Each day, a little more is done. No ladders, no paint cans, no spray bottles, just some pre-dawn magic. Daily, Dog and I stroll here. Dog sniffing trees, fallen leaves, I scrutinizing milkweed pods. A grasshopper hugs one, claiming it as its own. Red aphids bunch up on another as they will the pods to wing open, exposing white, wispy, silky whiskers, clutching the very seeds I wish to harvest. Days shrink fast. Nighttime arrives with a jolt. Despite the bright light of the harvest moon, I wonder how I possibly missed the thousands upon thousands of birds winging over the north before dawn. Only a single wayward orange-crowned warbler stops briefly in the morn to sip nectar. It dawns on me then, acceptance without really seeing the tree artist, the pods opening, birds flying in the night sky, is the miracle in itself. This heavy load, cement heavy, tortuously I drag this already soiled gunny sack, whose parts catch on road rubble, rip open as its suffocating dust billows out. Gasping, I can hardly breathe between the effort and the residual grind. I only have to reach the other side. Will anyone come to my rescue? Must I drag this dreadful bag alone? It weighs me down, drains my spirit. Still, I pull, tug, strain, the bag heavier at each step. What can lighten my load? Who can rescue me from this dismal task? My body bent, my effort spent, my neck strains as I try to look up. No birds, no song, just gray soot. Exhausted, defeated, crazed, desperate, I reach for the elusive grain of hope. Then a deer emerges from the woods, lowering and butting its head, urging the bundle forward. A squirrel assists, grabbing a corner as if a prized morsel. The wind picks up, pushing the group. A coyote howls, urging this misfit team forward. Geese flap their wings, lending a G-force, while a rabbit waves its cottontail, encouraging them on. Almost to the other side, wild turkeys gobble, while swans trumpet victory cheers. Spent, reaching the other side, I collapse, dropping the burlap sack of contentious political debris, and I'm gently caught in the arms of the natural world, speaking the language of peace. Straight shooter. Like a snake shedding its skin, I drop my innocence, garb myself instead with armadillo armor. With dog as my sidekick, I ready myself for a walk in the park. Ever vigilant, weapon drawn, glancing first forward, then backward, then to the sides. This perpetual observance, the mode of the day due to the civil unrest, no matter the direction we set. My weapon steadied, and dog with its bounce of cuteness, tail wags, and love pheromones, I vow to all those who cross our path, arrows of love to shoot. The one thing I can do to shift the balance toward amity. I know we've all had fur buddies from time to time, and then comes the time when we have to say goodbye. This is dedicated to all those furry friends that we've had. It's called Farewell, Franny. Farewell, Franny, French Papillon. Drama queen, princess, fairest of them all. How you strutted regally with your long black and white silky gown along the carpeted cul-de-sac, your runway. Now a sleeping beauty, a heart-breaking necessary passing. The royal parade will be missed as well. The baton passed. No throngs to bid farewell, no trumpets, no moments of silence, no tributes, no flags lowered, no floral bouquets. Only the whisper of tears rolling down our cheeks as you, Franny, are quietly wrapped in the folds of our love at home. Would we could all depart so peacefully. This next poem I've been asked to read a lot, and I really dedicate it to all those who have loved or taken care of people who are suffering from dementia. It's called The Yellow Flowers. I live by the house with the yellow flowers. I have forgotten your name. Years have come and gone. What is fishing? I used to know. Is today Monday or Saturday? Am I coming or going? I live by the house with the yellow flowers. How did I get here? I see people here and there. The faces seem strange to me. I may have eaten. I do not know. Is this coat mine or is it yours? I live by the house with the yellow flowers. A friend planted them. I do not know his name. He tilled the soil. With what? I do not know. He pruned and watered them. Was it yesterday or today? I live by the house with the yellow flowers. A woman sits next to me. Where'd she come from? Do I know her name? Have I seen her before? Why is she smiling? Who does she see? I live by the house with the yellow flowers. They have not left me. Why? I do not know. My eyes are wet. Is it raining? I must leave now. Why? I do not know. Only where? I live by the house with the yellow flowers. And my last one, given a choice, a muskrat, a mallard, mucking in the mud, the murky pond in the tight grip of the drought, refusing to have its life squeezed out. There's the rustle in the reeds, the red-winged rattle, the red squirrel's chatter, the hammer of the woodpeckers, the insect buzz. This maze of life magnified by a child's curiosity, who wants to see more, know more, one who opens my eyes to the magic, the innocent awe of this place. Others amble down the same walkway, looking straight ahead, cell phone in hand, listening via earbuds to the news of the day, missing the volatility of all the life nearby, their own chortle overpowering the music of the marsh. Given the choice, I reach for the hand of a child anytime as he awakens me to the amazing, though sometimes murky life of wetland wander. Thank you. I am grateful for all of you listening.
And thank you, Judith. We're grateful for you for bringing your poems. You did a wonderful job. Next up, we have Megan Willow Rose. Megan is a neurodivergent writer from Southern California. Their ventures lead them to the Pacific Northwest and most recently the Midwest. They find repose in the mountains, coasts, and rivers. Megan received their Bachelor of Arts in English from Central Washington University and their Master's in Teaching from Washington State University. They are currently teaching English at a local middle school. Through poetry, prose, and creative nonfiction, Megan commits their transient thought trains to paper. Megan writes alongside their cat, Brindleby, who serves as both a constant companion and a captive audience. Their work has been published by After the Pause, Sweet Tree Review, Right Hand Pointing, Word Piece, and Worship with Their Press. Take it away, Megan.
Thank you so much, Ron. And thanks for bringing all these poets together. I feel really lucky to have been invited and then get to partake in all of the poetry that's been shared so far. I've really appreciated it. And Valerie, I know you said that it's been a while, but it didn't seem like that. So I'm glad that you shared because that was, I think it's always fun to hear poets come back after a while to having, sharing their poems in public. So thank you. I have 6 poems. This first one is titled We Settle in the Garden. A gesture of weightless intention drifts and settles in his palm-splayed hands. When I whisper, intentions do not change impact time and time again. Time is only felt, not seen, and I can feel it in the space between bones and skeletal muscles, striated between voluntary and involuntary pulses of a conscious idea that suspends me in air weightless, unable to plant my feet when the ground is so fertile, so inviting and sensual, and your shoulders are heavy, your back bowing, Bring me your weight, and I will plant it so that it might grow into living, and I will find my reason to want living. This next one is titled Road Trip. It is an older poem, but I came back to it and revised it, so there's some additions to this originally published poem titled Road Trip. The rain splatters on the windshield like insects, and I remember the road trip last summer when we counted each tick against the glass. We counted, shaking our heads with dark, guttural laughter until the body count became too high and the splatter too thick, and our pupils clouded, soon overcast, and our thoughts turned to the dark corners in our minds between frontal and parietal, temporal and occipital, as we realized the destruction. Now, as we drive to the North Shore through the torrent, I look at him and I wonder if his thoughts lingered in those corners too long, and what was lost and found. I wonder if he resents me for being a witness in the passenger seat or for being a passenger. This next one is also kind of old. It is titled A Brief Dissertation on Absent Horses and Men. I like the natural twists and turns of Monday morning bedhead. It is somehow more alluring than lush shampoo commercial head, and each knotted kink feels real between teeth and comb. Sometimes I want to tie roses in the knots so that it seems like flowers have bloomed from my head. Yes, I know that I am broken and cannot be fixed. Remember Humpty? But I deserve rose-colored hair. I feel all too much and sometimes not at all, but I did feel the break. You took the easier route. You just stopped, and I didn't. The momentum was too much, and I felt it. I cracked as I hit the wall, porcelain doll skin smashing and shattering. And when I woke, I was a shell with bedhead and a vacant face on the windowsill. This next poem is a newer poem titled With the Moon as My Witness. The moon was a witness to it all, my naivety, his manipulation, my frailty, his psychological violence, which bled into my skin an inky bruise and has now made a home in my chest, pounding, 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 to remind me that the moon witnessed it all through half-closed curtains. She witnessed my fear of half-closed curtains, of skin-thin walls and open wounds in the sheetrock. She watched him set me a moth on fire after his light went out. She wanted to put out the fire, but she was only a witness. She sent her light, gentle persuasion to draw me out of the door, the house, into the yard, but her voice was too soft to hear over his withdrawing after he made me need him. Her light grew louder, and with the moon as my witness, I left. Thank you. I just have two more. This next one is a short one titled Gutted. Rehabilitate, to restore to a former capacity, but your capacity is diminished. Your capacity has been reduced. You are reduced, and the act of restoring requires capacity that you do not have, that you no longer own, that was stolen, that he stole from you. You are hungry, and there is nothing to eat, but you are hungry. And this is my last one. It is titled Girl Fragmented. I recall a time in which I did not listen for the sound of footsteps, testing the integrity of wood, Wheels digging up a new dirt addition to the driveway, walls alive, buzzing, fragmenting. I recall listening for the sound of angry birds and violent waves, listening not to respond. Listening was enough. Sustenance for a soul, unsustaining, and I thrived, summers allowing my fragmented self to merge the yes, the no into one. A fragment of self is the seed I plant in the fertile ground. I bury my hands, palms grasping, unsatisfied, my bare, filthy feet unsteady, until the water filling the hole serves as a muddy reflection. The dirt in my nails, gritting, reminds me of hands cleaning the sand from my toenails, shards of glass so small, insignificant to all but me and myself. Given one word to describe myself, my mind silent, but my mouth moves, passionate. Passion is the dirt in my nails. It is also the cleaning, purging, processes that leave me collecting myself from the ground, fragmented and passionate, but never passive. Thank you.
Thank you, Megan. Wonderful poems. I'm going to finish with one of my favorite Emily Dickinson's poems. I heard a fly buzz when I died. The stillness in the room was like the stillness in the air between the heaves of storm. The eyes around had run them dry, and breaths were gathering firm for that last onset when the king be witnessed in the room. I willed my keepsakes, signed away what portion of me be assignable, and then it was there interposed a fly with blue, uncertain, stumbling buzz between the light and me. And then the windows failed, and then I could not see to see. Thank you, everyone out there watching. Thank you to the poets reading tonight. Thank you, Valerie and Minnesota Television Network for putting this on. Everyone have a wonderful evening. And give the poets a round of applause, even though they can't see you.
Thanks, Ron.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, Miriam,